Hello and welcome to Access Paranormal. My name's Jamie Williams. Joining me again in the studio, we've got my co-host Jonathan Sullivan.
Hello, Jamie.
And we've also got my other co-host Lee Arnold.
Hi, Jamie.
And joining us for the second week in a row, we've got my partner Marie.
Hiya.
So we're going to start off this show quickly because I've had a couple of people ask me. We haven't done interviews for a number of weeks now, and so I better explain to everybody that the reason why we haven't done any interviews for a couple of weeks is because we're in the process of moving to a new studio.
Yeah.
So where we are is only temporarily.
It's a
our
temporary
base.
studio, isn't it?
And we have got quite a few people who are lined up to be interviewed, so they will be back.
Yeah.
And if we can fit one in, like we can, we will throw one in where we can. But at the moment, with us having to take the studio down, having to take the system down and then put it away and then put it back up again the following week, it's getting that time to sit down and do the interview, which we enjoy doing. But they will be back, and there'll be some nice surprises as well when we come back as well on the interviews. So that's that sorted out.
Yeah.
Let's carry on. We've been talking about different subjects every week, and this week we're going to start off with guardian angels.
Right. Okay.
And I'd like to know your opinion on guardian angels. So I'll start with Jonathan, and I'll work around to Lee and then Marie.
Guardian angels. I sort of do believe in them.
Mm-hmm.
With a little story.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Right. I've been doing the family trees, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Researching on the family for my mum. I'm nearly done on all that, and we've actually visited graveyards and seen gravestones of family. And she was speaking to me on the phone a few weeks back, and she said she saw a spiral of coloured lights come from the ceiling down to her kitchen worktop. This was like 6 o'clock at night, no sun, blinds closed, small kitchen, no light.
So it's basically you couldn't get any light in there otherwise.
No. So I researched it, and I got, do you know when you're like a kid and you scrunch your eyes up and you can see coloured light, can't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I came up with as the reason for it. And then the other reason was angel lights, like guardian angel. So I was at my mum's the other week as well, along with my brother. He had his laptop. She was looking at the family tree, what it done, and I was sat in the corner of the room. Then went that night. I dropped my brother off. She brings me the next day, and she said later on that night, where I was sat, she seen them lights again. So different room,
But the
different place,
same lights.
same lights.
Wow.
How do you explain that? You can't.
You can't.
Mm. So
Can't
you
explain it.
you're quite a believer in the guardian angels, then, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story in a minute. Like I said, I'll go down the room now. I'll come back to me. So, Lee, what's your opinion on them?
I think it's true. I've never experienced anything myself, but I've seen like a lot of programs where like they've had a crash in a car and they've seen a guardian angel and then they've come back. But other than that, I've not seen anything.
Well, there's one out there now, isn't there, with the big lorry and the motorbike.
Yeah, we've seen that.
Well, that's a
one.
couple of years.
Yeah.
A year or two old, that one, isn't it? I've seen that before.
But
though.
it's an interesting one.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Can't explain it, can you?
No.
Like you said, Lee, there's quite a few on YouTube
there
anyway,
is.
isn't there?
Yeah.
There's one. Have you seen the one where we were talking last week about the hospitals? What's wrong?
Did you hear that?
No, mister.
That big deep breath.
Yeah, it's like somebody went.
We had that in last week's show as well,
Yeah.
and now we've got it in this one.
Just looked
Yeah,
at
just
each other
lots of
and
each
we
other,
heard it.
just heard it.
Yeah.
Plain as day.
Well, it definitely weren't us.
No,
No.
No, but we're talking, weren't
Yeah.
we? So it's happening again then.
Yeah.
So there's one where they're in the hospital. Now last week we were talking about hospitals.
Yeah.
And that. And when you think about it, there must be lots. If there's guardian angels or even angels, that's the place to be.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the place.
Yeah.
And there's one on YouTube where you see the actual looked like a really bright white light coming out of the room of
Yeah.
someone's room and then just disappears.
Disappearing.
So, and I'll go to you now, Marie.
Yeah.
And your thoughts on the guardian angels.
Well, first of all, I've just been looking at what they say about guardian angels, and it's a type of angel that is assigned to protect and to guide us. At the moment, what we're all just looking at, what I'm feeling, we've got a cold breeze that's coming across us. I felt it across my face.
There's no windows open.
Both Lee and Jonathan.
Your blinds aren't even moving.
No.
No,
nothing.
Both Lee and Jonathan are feeling it as well now.
You're getting it
But
now,
it's
yeah.
just all come at
Yeah,
once.
just stand
So
up
sorry,
on
we've
them.
just changed that subject because that's what's just
That's
happening to
alright,
us
yeah.
now
It's
this
just this
minute.
It's funny because we'll go back to the guardian angels in a second. It's funny, isn't it? Whenever we do this show, no matter where it was, whether it was in Mill Street
Yeah.
Barracks
Yeah.
or anywhere, something happens.
So always,
Yeah.
all the
It-
time.
Yeah.
And it's not cold. It's not cold in here at all.
No.
It's not.
Well, I'm in my t-shirt.
I know. I can see.
But
I'm
it
having
was
to look at you.
A cold breeze because I'm signalling to the
Yeah.
Yeah.
cold breeze and they
Yeah.
got it on their arm like
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, you've
on
had-
my face.
You've now had the breathing.
What?
Don't do that to me.
Oh, is that you, John?
No, wait, me.
No.
What?
My headphone wire fell off my leg and touched me. It touched me, it just slid down my leg. And because we're talking about the paranormal.
God.
Oh dear. Yeah, but let's go back to the guardian angel thing.
So
And
as
you
I
were saying, Maria.
it's a sign to protect you. They always say we've got guardian angels around us. It's a bit different than spirit guides, I think, because they're assigned to yourselves, and guardian angels, you can ask for them, they ask for the help at different times and that. Now, my thoughts on guardian angels are definitely, are there, because things that's happened to me, and I'm thinking, was that my spirit guide? Was it guardian angels? What was talking to me?
Do you think your spirit guide is a guardian angel or two different
I'm
entities?
not sure on that. It's hard because I've asked for who's my guardian angel, give me a name, or who's my spirit guide, I should say, and give me a name. And I don't seem to get anything.
Right.
I've not, whether I'm not in that state of mind of receiving things or anything, but I know there's somebody protecting me or something. With the different things that's happened, like telling me to put my brake on straight away.
Yeah.
I've told you that before, going down that near Tower College, and I kept saying to me head, why do you want me to put my brake on, sort of thing, and it's saying put my brake on, and looking through my back window, through the mirror, like, and nothing, and it was that strong in my head, I just goes out in the open, I goes, oh, okay then. There's nobody else in the car with me, but I said that to myself, put my brake on, and the bus came straight through in the middle of the road. I would have been crushed.
Yeah.
So is that your guardian angel? Is that a spirit guide?
I think they'd be the same thing.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
They've just got the two titles.
Yeah.
It's like mediums and sensitives. It's the same.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
because they're both there to protect you, aren't they? And
yeah.
look out for you. And
Yeah.
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 And it's the same when I was on a motorway coming home from Birmingham from, I think we was watching Status Quo, my sister and myself, my sister's absolutely mad on him, and I was driving back and the rain was that bad, we could not see, no matter how fast the wash rates were going, we could not see, and then a Range Rover come in front of us with all them yellow and white stripes, yellow and orangey stripes coming down it. And if it wasn't for that, we didn't know where we were going. As soon as the rain went, the car turned off and went away. And I just thought, was that guarding us? It was just strange things like that, because we honestly couldn't see.
And it happens a lot, doesn't it? That it does happen a lot.
It does.
My experience was, when was it? It was like my son Mark. Now, there's the time when somebody said to me, you can ask your guardian angel the name, And I thought, in for the penny, in for the pound, I'll give it a go.
Mm.
So I did. I was lying in bed and everything. I was just falling asleep, and you just falling asleep, and I still think, was a dream in it?
Yeah.
Did it happen?
Yeah.
Anything like that? And a guardian angel. It looked like a guardian angel the way it come through. It felt strange the way it came through, and it introduced itself and said, "My name's Jake, Jake, as my
Wow.
guardian angel." Right. Still think about that. I still try and get my head around it, but you go with it, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, that's
Mm.
fine. Now, a while back, my lads were a bit younger then. And my oldest son, Mark, he was, I don't know how old he was, to be honest with you. And he said to me once, "Dad, do you believe in guardian angels? How do I get to know my guardian angels?" So I told him what I'd done.
Yeah.
Ask out and see if the guardian angel come through, etc., etc. And that was in the morning. And then I had to go into Heighton to get a parcel from the, where it says open between this time and this time.
Yeah,
If you go at
yeah.
7 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah.
whatever time. So I went into Heighton to get it, drove into Heighton. And before that, he said to me, how can you be shown if there's a guardian angel or not, Dad? How do you prove it? That same morning, I went into Heighton Village. And when it gets there, it gets into the car park. You know where McDonald's is in Heighton
Yeah,
Village?
yeah,
And
yeah.
they've got a car park. It's the biggest car park on
Mm.
just before you get into Heighton Village.
Yeah.
There wasn't a single car on that car park. I could have parked anywhere I wanted. That's how random it was, right?
Yeah.
It was raining, horrible that morning. And I just went, I'll just park here, and park there. And when I get out the car, I stood on something. So what was that? So I picked it up and went, it's somebody's hearing aid. So I threw it in the well of my car
Yeah.
on the floor. And I never thought nothing of it, went into the post office, got my parcel, jumped back in the car, still never thought anything of it, picked it up obviously and put it to the one side in a little bag, so I didn't tread on it again.
Yeah.
Drove home, gets out the car, picks that thing up, so it's all wet, it's all wet, it's in one of them like silk bag things with the string on it,
Yeah.
pull it. So I get home and I get to it and I went like that, went to Mark, I stood on this bag here. I said, it's probably a hearing aid. Let's have a look. And when we opened it, it was one of those stone guardian angels.
Oh.
You know the ones what they cut out of stone and it's like it stands up
yeah.
and it's got
Yeah.
the two little wings and everything else. It's stone.
Mm.
It's in pink, isn't it?
Pinkish white. It's about that big.
Yeah.
Because you've still got it.
And I've still got it to this day. And I thought we were talking about guardian angels that morning with my son,
Yeah.
and I said to Mark, "Look at that," and it was about that big. I've still got it. I've still got the guardian angel now. I could have parked anywhere in that car park, anywhere I wanted, and I parked right in the middle. I just
Yeah.
this will do,
Yeah.
and I stand on that, and it's a stone or whatever they call them, guardian angels.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now that must be what? Must be it. Well, Mark was still at school then. So you're talking a while back.
Yeah.
Well, he was say he was 15, 14, 15.
Good
So
10 years, you reckon?
well, he's 29 now. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah, 10, 12, 13 years ago,
yeah.
and I've still got that guardian angel. So there's something in it.
Mm.
Was that telling me this is my way of telling you?
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, so I've gone from where I lived in Heighton, drove to Heighton Village, could have parked anywhere, could have gone anywhere, parked in that spot, and that's what I picked up was that in the bag was the guardian angel.
My question to you then,
Mm-hmm.
if you'd parked somewhere else in that car park, do you think that still would have been there next to the car?
If I had parked anywhere else,
Yeah.
would I have stood on it in any
Yeah,
other parking
yeah.
space? I don't know. You can't answer that, can you?
But to be a car park that was, you said, was empty, basically.
Big.
I was
Big.
the only.
Car
Empty.
park,
Well,
empty.
you know the car park I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
I know, yeah.
And it's a big car park.
Yeah.
You must be able to fit 100 cars in there plus.
Mm.
and there was not a single car in that car park when I went in there. Not a single car.
Yeah.
It's unusual.
And I could still, to this day, I could drive you in that car park and say, there's where I parked.
It's a bit of a coincidence, though, isn't it?
That's
Was
what
it
it
a
was.
coincidence?
Well, that's what I'm saying, because I
Mm.
think if you had parked the other end of the car park on the opposite side,
got you.
I think it'd still have been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I'm with you.
So it was meant to be there.
It was meant to be, yeah.
Mm.
And your son asked that question in the morning, didn't he?
Well, that's the fascinating part about it. He asked the question. I get to my car, drive to it, parks anywhere I wanted to, step on that. Never, don't think about it. Thought it was hearing aid in the car.
Mm.
Carries on to get me parcel. There's only when he got home, we opened it and went, oh my God, look what I found.
Where that
Or did I find it, or was it given to me? Was that their
Well,
way
yeah.
of saying
Was
Yeah.
that given by your
guardian
Guardian
angel?
angel.
Yeah. To
Yeah.
pass
So-
on to your son,
yeah, just
so
say-
showing that it's real, that's
'Cause-
something to believe in.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
what's the
Mhm.
chances of that?
Yeah.
Well, he asked you it was it Mark.
Mark, yeah,
So we asked you the question:
yeah,
how do you know
yeah.
whether it is the guardian angel or not?
just
Maybe
How-
that was the sign
yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
How do you prove it?
What
There
did your
is the
son
proof.
say about
Yeah.
it?
Sorry?
When you mentioned it to your son, I take it that you took it to your son, shown him and told
I
him.
think at the time he was really surprised, but it'd be interesting to ask him now, because it's like years later, and his knowledge is beyond what I
Yeah,
can
yeah,
think,
yeah.
and see what he thinks about that even today, if he's still fascinated by it, or has he thought about
that'd
it?
be interesting.
Would be.
Yeah.
You have to get him on the show.
Yeah.
I'm definitely. Well, I want to get him on the show anyway, don't I?
Yeah.
He keeps on, and what can I talk about on the show? Sound waves,
Yeah.
because you know what he's like
goes
on the
all
sound
that,
waves.
doesn't
He's
he?
brilliant, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be seeing him soon, so I'll have a word with him.
Yeah.
Be an
So
interesting
have you
one.
heard of angel numbers as well?
No.
No.
Go on.
Right. No, because when I was going through a very stressful time, even my children got used to it, and I'd see 3-3-3-3 everywhere. You've seen it be double threes or 1-2-2-1 opposite each other on the clock as I got in the car, on TV. Look at my watch, it'd be the same, and it got that much that even the children started seeing it as I got in the car as they're waiting for me. And I'm just looking up now because I used to have an angel book. What was the thing? I used to have an angel book, and it was angel numbers, and it give you different meanings. So I'm just looking up now because I did actually lend that out to someone, and I never really got it back. So looking at the angel numbers, the ones I've got in front of me is that angel numbers 444. It means about love and your direction and where to go. But the angel numbers 333 that we get all the time. And funny enough, when I went to get my first house, the number of the house was 33. When me and my daughter went for a blood test, and you pick a number, it was 33. Anything that needed a number or was anything. Oh, we was in some kind of charity competition. You all have a number. And we both looked at each other and we said, guess what number we're going to be? And we were laughing. We were 33 and 34. And it was all that. So I'm just looking at 33 now and see, can I see what it, 333, all angel numbers, and what does it mean? And it's actually to have faith. So I'm looking at what it's saying, the beginning of new, and represents joy and playfulness and newness. So it'd be interesting to have a look at that book again,
Yeah.
and what it means on
Yeah.
111 and mirrored numbers.
I'm
So-
sure I got you a book on angel numbers.
Possibly,
Sorry.
because I know I really wanted it, and
I know we've moved out, so it's probably in a box
it'll
somewhere.
be in the box,
Yeah.
but it'd be worth it because it's there's a lot of information on it. So
Yeah.
anything like these are things that I'm interested in, and like I said on last week's show, contact us and just tell me what you think about it, about these angels numbers and what the meanings are to you and what's happened. So I'd love to hear from anybody out there,
Yeah.
and once again we can have talk more into it. That's
Yeah,
in the future,
definitely.
in the future. So on the Facebook, Access Paranormal Radio podcast. If you come and just a private message or anything, I'd be grateful.
Definitely, yeah.
Over to you.
Well, what we'll do now is we've got a paranormal investigation coming up. We've done it, so if anybody's out there, if you want to, go and run ahead. I'll put an advert on first. If you run around, go and grab your headphones, plug your headphones in. If you've got your headphones on, keep them on. Because what we've done is we've done a little bit of an investigation, and it was in 3D audio. So if you put your headphones on, the sounds will be all around you. It won't just be like normal audio. This will be in 3D audio or binaural for anybody who understands what that is. So what we'll do now is we're going to put an advert on how you can contact us. Then it'll go straight into the investigation. So here's how you can contact us.
Jamie and Jonathan always love to hear your spooky paranormal experiences and stories. Why not get in touch with them directly on email at info.accessparanormal@gmail.com. That's info.accessparanormal@gmail.com. Alternatively, you can leave a message on the studio mobile phone. The number is 07828 201 056. Now, Jamie and Jonathan may get back in touch, but it will be a voicemail, so if you do have anybody answer, who knows who's on the other end of the telephone line.
Did you hear that over there then?
Nice. Sorted.
So we spread out so our voices go from different areas.
Yeah.
Don't fancy looking at that door.
If I go over here.
Yeah. And turn the lights off, eh?
Yeah. Ooh, that's dark.
I know it is. Cat ball's gone off. I'm moving over here. I'm going over here.
Wasn't you when you sat down over there?
Let me try it then while we throw something. That was a bit neary, that, Jonathan.
No.
Nope.
See if that's a no then.
Yeah, I think I'll move over here.
You can't do that.
Put it on.
Leave me on my own all over here.
I'll sit next to you. I'll sit in. Okay. I'll sit back here then. Oh, strange that it went off straight away then, didn't
If you're still there, can you make that ball light up again by the door?
it? Can I just say for those who are now listening to this is a proper investigation. Either things will happen or they won't happen. Now what's just happened is me, Lee Arnold and Jonathan Sullivan in this room. We just put 2 cat balls out, one in the corridor and one near the door. And while we were setting up, sitting down, ready to introduce this show, this part of the investigation. When the cat ball went off, now we've tested it, you probably just heard it then. It hasn't gone off since. So what we'll do is we're just going to do some call outs. So I'm going to ask if there's anybody here with us now. If that was you what made the lights flicker, do it again. We really don't mind. You don't need to be afraid of us. We're here with the utmost respect for you. You can make the lights flash and make a sound, move something. Feel free to do so. We're not here to harm you. Are you here with us now?
I think that's because the cat ball's
Are you okay to talk to us? If you are, and you can make that ball flash again, please do so. We're not here to harm you, as we said. Goosebumps all over.
Me too. Just for the listeners, we've got these cat balls
All night.
up by the studio all night and they've not gone off at all.
Are you in this room with us now? If you are, thank you. Wow. Thank you so much for this. We do appreciate it. Have you been watching us in this room? Is that okay? Have you been watching us? And listening to us? Let me introduce us. My name's Jamie.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Lee.
Are you okay with us here? Are you able to make if you can see me, and if it's possible, through that door there, there's another one of those balls on the floor. I'm sorry that we put them on the floor, but if you can go over to it and make that one flash as well, that would be fantastic if you could do that. We would appreciate it. Or would you rather stay there? If you'd rather stay there and make the lights flash again. Are you able to hear us or see us again? If you are, let us know you're still here. We do appreciate it.
Do you know who we are? You make the light flash? When you make sound?
Are you one of the children? If you are, can you make one of the little balls flash?
Well, it doesn't mean you any harm. What you want to do is talk to you. Try and find out who you are and why you're still here. You must have seen us lots of times in here.
Are you able to move something?
Do you want to speak to us? Make that light flash, go near one of them little balls? Whoa.
What?
There's a black shadow in front of me then.
If that was you, the only way we can communicate with you at the moment is if you can make that ball flash like you did before.
Can you make the light flash if you want us to stay in here?
heard something in the distance.
No, I heard that.
Did you?
Yeah.
And you make the little ball flash. If you want us to leave, you interested in what we're doing? And why we're here? Make a sound or do something to let us know.
Feel a bit edgy, don't you?
Yeah. Definitely getting like movement of shadows, like in front of me.
Don't feel a nice feeling.
If you're here with us now, if you want us to leave you in peace, make the ball flash, and I promise you we'll move somewhere else. We're not here to make you feel uncomfortable. We just want to be here and speak to you.
Did you hear that?
What was it?
What band then?
No?
Can you make that sound again, please? Oh, does it mean you any harm? You're here with respect. You just want to talk to you. Do you want to talk to us?
It's funny how we went off to this,
Couple of times as well, isn't it?
Were you watching me before when I put that down? Wondered what it was. Can you make the lights flicker again like you did before? We really don't mean you any harm. Come and talk to us.
If you've gone into the other room, we're inviting you back in. Please come forward. Come and join us.
You able to copy me? Just move. You're over there. That was interesting the way that ball went off there, wasn't it? I'm not sitting over there because I'm going to just move them, just see. See, it's not going off.
No. That door open.
Strange,
Yeah. If that was you what made the ball flicker, you able to do it again? Let me just get a chin move over there. It was start the leak. Jonathan's the furthest away.
Cheers for that.
No worries.
No worries, yeah. I'm going to ask the person who's here with us now, if you are, and you're able to, and you stand near that door, can you make that light flicker again, please? We really don't mind. We really are not here to harm you. We're not here to disrespect you. And I say it so many times, we're here as friends. We're not here to judge. Are you able to communicate with us? Could you make any of the balls flash? There's one near that door. And you can see me where this door's closed here. There's another one out there. If you are able to, and you can you make them flicker, please? Or just when you go goosebumpy right through.
It's not dark in that corner.
By that door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there, yes.
If that's you near the door and you can see that ball, if you can just knock it, make it come on, make it flash like you did before, we'd appreciate that. And just for those who are listening, Jonathan and Dave, it hasn't gone off now for a little bit since last time, right near the beginning, when it went off twice. And we're keeping you awake there, mate.
Yeah, sorry.
Is there anyone else that wants to come into the room? Anyone else that wants to communicate with us?
Can you tap on the door? There's a little sign at your ear. Will mean you no harm.
And you tap like this.
So as I go, corner of the eye movement, then you use something.
Yeah, well, I keep getting in front of me, to be honest.
Do you?
Yeah.
It's very dark there, Jonathan.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. The door seems a bit lighter, but near Jonathan here, pitch black.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes me feel so much better.
No, mate,
It does feel much better, it's near you.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, please.
Are you near Jonathan? Are you trying to communicate with Jonathan? Did you hear that?
I heard that.
I didn't hear it, but I was seeing it go really, really dark again, I thought. Ooh. I just felt like my chair just moved.
If that was you WhatsApp, that's your way of communicating with us, can you do it again?
I don't know, I keep seeing things going past me and
Just looks really dark towards me.
I don't like that. tell me your name? You whisper your name?
Swear I was in the shower and that whiteboard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just looked like the head
Where?
on the whiteboard in front of you. There's a table in front of you, Jonathan.
There's one just to the right of my leg,
Yeah,
and then there's one further in front as well.
but it's more towards the
More
doorway.
towards the door, yeah.
Yeah.
There's one up there, yeah.
But all I could see is it looked like an outline of a head on the whiteboard.
Right. Can you tap on that board? That's where you are.
Please communicate in any way you want, and a way that you're able to get our attention. Now obviously we put like a ball on the floor. I know it sounds silly putting it on the floor, but if you want to knock it with your foot, please do so. That's your way of communicating. We appreciate it. I know when we were in the dormitories or the bedrooms, one time we were here, you were able to communicate. If you're the same person, try it. Can you talk to us? You're able to? Keep seeing that corner of the eyes. Now you know your eyes are shuttered because, do you remember, John, when we talked to Chris Cannon and he said your eyes are adjusted when everything's black and white.
Yeah. Everything's black and white to me.
Yeah.
Mm. And ask again if there's anybody here with us now. If you can see us, and if you can hear us, are you able to let us know that you're here? Like I said before, we put an item on the floor for you to knock or move. Are you able to do that, please? Can you talk to us? Can you make some kind of light? If you can make that ball come on, what's near the door, make it flicker like you did earlier on. If you want us to leave this room, we're more than happy to if you make that light come on.
Do you think it's wrong what we're doing?
Don't you feel that they're doing the same by trying to communicate with us?
Could be.
Well, I hope so.
Seems very quiet.
It's gone calm, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I'm not seeing. I can see the white wall next to me. I can see it all the way down to the end where the door is now.
But before you couldn't, it was pitch black,
Yeah, it's
wasn't
pitch
it?
black, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. If you want to tell me jumped, I do apologise.
Is there anyone in this part of the building that wants to come and talk to us?
Do you like it to be more relaxed? Is that what it is? Do you think we're a bit tense because we're a bit nervous? Is that what it is? If you step back because you think we're scared of it? Scared of you, sorry, not of it. If that's how you feel, let me know. If you want to talk to us, we're quite more than happy to do that. Like I said, that's Jonathan over there. This is Lee. And I'm Jamie. Now, we've been here a long time. We've been coming here a very long time. And surely you know us by now, and surely you know we're always respectful. Always will be. So if you want to come forward, you want to talk to us, that's absolutely fine with us. And we will treat you with the utmost respect. If you're happy with that, and you know we're here, to not do you any harm, or judge you, can you try in every way you can to make the ball flash? Have you used all your energy up? That's what it could be. We're going to have to go in a minute, but what you did earlier on for us, we really appreciate it. It showed us that you were here and possibly trying to communicate with us. But we will come back another time and we'll come and talk to you. We're usually in the building. When we're in the building, we really don't mind you coming to communicate in the way you can. Get a click then?
Yeah, was that not good?
No.
I thought it was Lee's bone, you know.
Oh, jeez.
What?
I thought someone was right behind me then. I looked over towards you, so it was like, it looked like there was someone stood right behind me.
Right. Are you listening to us now? Are you okay with that? Are you able to do anything to let us know you're here? I know people come into the building now and it's great that people are starting to come back. Are you happy to see people returning? Right, what we've got to do now is we've got to end this little investigation or this little chat with you. But we will come back and see you again, we promise you. And if you can and you want to communicate with us, that would be great. And we didn't mean to disturb you in any way if you were doing something. But what we do appreciate is you trying to communicate, if you were, with the ball earlier on. So, thank you so much for letting us be in the room with you. So that was the 3D paranormal investigation we did a little bit of a while back, and somebody asked us to put it on again, so we thought we would.
Yeah.
And a little bit later on in the show, there's another 3D interactive investigation, which I think everyone should listen to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them a little bit about it after we've played it.
Yeah.
Just to surprise them. And we did put it on before, and somebody said they hadn't heard it, they'd missed it on an earlier show, so I said, well, we will put it back on again.
Yeah.
But obviously not straight away, because you don't want to repeat everything the same.
Course, yeah.
So I decided to, in this show, to put the 2 3D audios on, and that was the one we did in the classroom.
Yeah.
And the next one is it's just in the same classroom, but it's unusual what happens. I'll tell you more after they've listened to it. I'll give them a bit of a surprise after they've listened to it. Now, before we played that first part, we were talking about guardian angels and things like that, and numbers and that. And I want to carry on these like subjects because they're quite nice to talk about, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the next one we've got on our list is dreams.
Mm.
What do you think of dreams? Now I'm going to start with Marie this time, or do you want me to go somewhere else before I surprise you?
No, because I suppose that we've all got different dreams. I think mine, from being little, I'd have the same dream over and over and over again. And it was always of the same thing, of somebody stood at the window. Now, are their dreams because I was frightened or what? Because it was always the same person with long black hair, stood at the window, and me and my brother, I was hiding. And it was like that. And then as I got older, it was dreams of being in a warehouse sort of thing with big mechanical things all around, and we were hiding. But then as I got into, I'd say, late 30s, it was dreams of waves hitting, coming over from Liverpool, coming over from the different areas, and the waves were coming over like tsunamis, coming over and hitting and drowning the home, and it was all around. We could see it now, the same dream every night, but in a way, but it was all about water, waves and everything. And on that dream, as the waves were coming over, one of the last, I'm trying to get everybody to higher ground, before the water come. And I knew my children were on higher grounds and in a flat area, multi-storey flat, and they were there. And in my head, I thought, I'll have to go and help. And I always remember this man and lady saying, "Please help us, get us to the attic." And I thought, this wave's coming over. They've got no chance in that attic. It's going to hit first. And just for a peace of mind for him, I said, "Come on then." So she was in a wheelchair, but we had to help her up, and obviously pulling her along, a sort of thing, doesn't sound good, but we got her up there. 1 minute you're up there, and we stood there, and then we heard the wave coming over, and then you wake up. And then another time a day, we'd see the wave coming over the top of the houses, and that's the time again you wake up, struggling to breathe and things like that. And I always remember the last time when everything was smoothing out in your life. It was the only time that I come and I struggled and got myself out of the water and breathed. I got a breath, the biggest breath I could have, and I woke myself up, taking this great big breath. And after that, I'd say about 8 months of dreaming the same things, it never happened once I got that breath. Whereas I was in my head helping other people and getting them there. So what are dreams? Are they times when you're in a difficult situation? Times that you're going through a stress? Are they exciting times? So I don't know if anybody else has had dreams or things that's passed, because I've had daydreams as well, but we'll go into that in some other time.
Yeah.
So what dreams have any of you had?
Personally, I haven't had any, but I remember my dad saying something a few weeks ago. He's had it since he was younger. He's always dreamed of, I think it was a shadow man, and he was wearing, like, I don't know if he said it was a top hat or just a hat, and that stuck in his mind, and he wakes up all the time. It could be any time in early hours, and he'll just wake up at like seeing this shadow man. He said it's always scared him.
Yeah.
So
Even today.
Yeah, up until today. That.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what it is or anything, but I'll find a bit more information about it and then.
Yeah.
That's just brought it back to me about one of my dreams. And I was and it was in Cyprus, and I went to the beaches in Cyprus and everything. But that, when I come home months later, it was actually, I didn't get to the next beach, and I wanted to go around the next beach and have a look, but my sister didn't want to come. She wanted to sunbathe, and I was dying to go round to the next beach, and in my dream I went round to the next beach, and it opened out into housing, residential housing and that, but behind me was the Grim Reaper, all in black, with the little handle on, whatever it is he holds.
Sitting next to you now.
And it would follow me, and it would be for weeks and weeks, this same dream. And it was the Grim Reaper, and as they're coming, and I'm running away, and I'm dragging my sister and running away. Then we finally got to this house, and as we're running into somebody's house, and I slammed the door just as he got to the door, and I slammed the door again, and then when I opened it, it was there with the the Grim Reaper with his stick, whatever it was he was holding.
Scythe,
Is that right? Yeah. So that again.
A scythe.
All right. So yeah, with that, but it was for weeks and weeks on end, and I don't know why I had that dream. Nobody passed away. I didn't get hurt or anything like that, but it was terrifying. I just remember running.
Well, we can get somebody on when we're able to do interviews again. We'll have to get someone who's got a knowledge of dreams.
Yeah.
That'd be an interesting subject.
Yeah, it would be, yeah.
And what about you, Jonathan, yourself?
No. I remember having a nightmare when I was a kid.
Well, that every day. You too?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I don't really have dreams.
Yeah, I get dreams,
Funny,
don't I? I've had some weird dreams.
Yeah.
Sometimes your dreams, you wake up and you're convinced
It's real.
that it's real, yeah.
Have you noticed
My
when you're
wife
having a
does
dream
that.
though, and you tried running in your dream?
You can't.
Lead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird.
But
It's a
why
weird
do
feeling.
we all get similar dreams? Like you just mentioned about running in your
Yeah.
dreams. If something's chasing you, it's like you've got lead weight on your feet and you're trying to get away. So why do we all, because we're all individuals, we all got our own minds,
Yeah.
why do we all dream similar dreams?
It's crazy.
Like the famous one is when you've fallen and fallen and fallen and fallen,
Yes.
Yeah.
and just before you hit the ground you wake up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you jump.
Yeah,
You make
why?
yourself jump.
Apparently, this man say if you don't,
You're dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh.
yeah. It's a
But
weird one.
you don't hear it as much now, but that used to be a
Yeah.
regular thing what people used to say.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes think your dream is your mind, it's racing
Yeah.
because your life at the moment is living in the fast lane of the M25, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
you've got work,
Yeah.
you've got your house, you've got this, you can go on and on and on. You've got stress, you've got worries. So when you calm down and fall asleep, I think your mind
Yeah.
continues
Mm.
and it mixes it, and your mind mixes with the dreams.
Yeah.
So you've got
You're
your
fighting-
mind.
You're
Sorry?
fighting dreams in reality, aren't you?
Yeah.
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 Well, that brings it back to that story I was telling you about the wave coming over the big set of terrace houses, and I got that elderly people into the attic. And as I moved into a new place, and I stood outside, turned round, I actually saw the same building and the set of terraced houses running down, and the thing in the background. And this was a couple of years later. I actually saw, and it was the wave coming over. So I didn't see the wave, it was where the wave was coming up, and I turned around, and when I seen it, it brought it straight back to me. That was where I was.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, that was the house that I went upstairs. I'd never been there before. It was actually
Weird.
set out in the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's look at the dreams in this way as well. How many people say they visited from a loved one who's passed away in their dreams?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? It's got to be true.
Yeah.
I think that was Jonathan then, wasn't it?
Which?
The breathing.
No, it's all.
I heard that
Weird.
again.
Yeah, I heard it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, Jonathan. What were you saying anyway?
Can't remember now.
We were talking about like in your dreams.
When our loved ones pass away.
Somebody passes away and they come visit you in your dreams.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
It's a viable I don't know, option rather than it not being real.
Mm.
And there's that many people that have told that story quite vividly and realistic that it's got to be true, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Got to be.
And I mean, my mum and dad have both passed away now, and I've had dreams, and you're with them again.
Yeah,
you're
I've had
there.
that
You're with
myself.
them. Now, is that a dream, or has your how do you call it with your body? Has your let's say astral?
Yeah.
Has that moved out of that, visited them without you knowing,
And then come
and then come back again?
You don't know, do you?
No. These are all things that you can talk about forevermore.
Yeah.
Because I believe that. I think you visit them.
Is that where we go when we do actually fall asleep?
I think when you dream and you visit your parents or your mum or your dad or whoever it was, I think that's you repairing yourself. Your body or your natural. Like you can cut yourself and your skin repairs it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It's healing, isn't it?
Yeah, healing.
Yeah.
I think that's a way of you healing. When you see your parents in your dreams, it's your body trying to repair itself.
Yeah.
It's like, you can get a cut on your hand and it leaves a scar, but it's repaired to the best it can be.
Yeah.
And that's what I think that's what happens sometimes in dreams, is that you go and visit the loved ones who have passed, and it's your own body, your own mind, and that working for you while you're asleep.
Yeah.
So I used to dream about my auntie. She passed away when I was 14, but this is once again in my 30s and that. And I actually dreamt that we was going through like a big church door or something, really big bricks, like what church they build up, the really big thick bricks, stones, and was going through and I opened the door and it was me auntie, and I was thinking, why is my auntie there? Because she's passed away. And she sits on, and I thought, oh, what's happening? And the story was going on in my dream in my head that she was getting better, and I thought, but in my head I'm thinking it can't be right because I know she's passed away. But my auntie starts getting up, and throughout the dreams, this is for weeks and weeks, months on end, that my auntie starts getting up and moving around, but she's in this door, behind the door, and she starts moving about, and I'm thinking, well, is she getting better? I'm just thinking now openly, is that like my mind knowing, because my auntie was very poorly, and that she's getting stronger in the other world? So I've only just thought about that. Because she was getting, and I'm thinking, well, she's passed away, so how can she be getting up? How can she be doing this? And like I say, it went on for months and months and months, so it could actually be a signal to me that she's actually getting stronger where she was.
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah.
She did pass away with cancer and that, and so that's just now talking it out. But all those years back, I couldn't understand. But it was all the time. The dreams are continuous, but in different areas, but it was all like within old stone. Sort of thing.
It's like, when people say, I know what you're thinking. You're saying about daydreaming. And I think sometimes you go into that consciousness of daydreaming that you're actually there, or you've left yourself. You can still connect like an astral projection. You've left yourself, but because you don't know how to deal with it, you're daydreaming. If you get what I mean, you've not learned how to control that. And everyone's connected. I say we're all connected, like with roots. If you think of the human being is connected. If we went back 1,000 years, we're all related. Every single one of us are related.
As it says in the Bible, you're brothers and sisters. Yeah.
So if you think of it like that, we've all got that connection. So when we dream, are we using that way of connecting?
Yeah, could be.
If you understand what I mean. So, dreams are very powerful, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Very, very powerful.
There's a lot more to them than that, what we know.
Yeah, and it's like nightmares. Sometimes you have really horrible nightmares, and you play in your mind.
Sorry for you, Marie.
I won't let him sit next to you next time. But if you get what I mean, when you have nightmares, is that a warning, or is that trying to make you stronger and less fearful of what might be, what
could be,
what be coming?
See, mine when I was a kid was
meeting Lee.
I can't, I must have been really young. But it was 101 Dalmatians.
I thought it was 101 years ago then.
But it was like a poster on my wall. And I had a nightmare over it. It got took down the next day.
Yeah.
And then I was alright then.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I know you have a lot of bad dreams and that when you've got, when you're ill.
Yeah, I was going
Yeah.
to say that. Yeah.
Hallucinations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. 'Cause
Yeah, I
had
know
a
it was
few of them,
happening or
especially-
nothing like that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's when I was less than 10 years of age.
Mm.
What a long time ago then, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Was that last week then?
Yeah. Yeah, just the other week.
Yeah, I thought it was.
When I say that the dreams are, you know, with never fever and they're frightening and that.
Yeah.
But then again, it also happens the other way. Because my mum, when she was really poorly, when she was a teenager, she had somebody sat at the bottom of the bed and she thought the doctor had left someone with her to watch over her all the time. And it was only when a dad, my granddad, was going through the family album and she said that's who was sat with me, and she passed away before my mum was born.
Wow.
But she thought in her head it's who the doctor's left with her.
Yeah.
And the doctor called because she stepped in and sat with her, and she was there all the time, holding her hand and everything. And
Wow.
yeah,
It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Strange,
We'll
isn't it?
never understand
No.
We won't.
like you, Jamie,
Right.
when you had COVID over Christmas.
it. Thoughts was being possessed.
You did, and you thought the zombies was coming.
The zombies were coming up the stairs. I was saying to Millie, I said I had to go to the toilet, but I had to wait because there were zombies waiting for me, so I had to. And then the other one was I turned around and said, I'm not coming out the room. Now this is I had COVID.
Yeah.
And they don't tell you that in the paper, do they?
Nobody
You
else
lose
has
your
had it.
You lose your taste, you do this.
Yeah.
But nobody tells you that you get hallucinations.
Yeah.
I reckon it was what you were putting in my food, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I was in my room for 9 days and he was like that. Got to tell you.
It worked, Marie, but you'd only got 9 days out of it.
I had
But,
the remote
I mean-
control for all that time. It was good.
But that was just hallucinating. That I mean,
Yeah.
I did actually
Yeah.
think that I was being possessed.
Mm.
I actually felt as if something
You
was
said
going
you was
into my
holding your
mouth.
breath as well.
And yeah, I was holding me, but and I was like convinced that I was being taken over.
Did you say you was reaching out or something or?
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I know I was like, I know, I just felt as if something was just, taking over my body, and I'm thinking I'm being possessed here,
Mm.
and that was strange. But that could have been because I've watched so much YouTube in 9 days. Do you know what I mean?
Or a program.
Because I think sometimes you know when you watch these things, you do tend to like
You
go
do.
weird, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you're kids, and you watch Tarzan, you become Tarzan. You watch Batman,
Yeah.
you become Batman.
That's it.
I used to watch Sex Symbols and.
Hey, what happened then? Was that the nightmare?
That was a nightmare. No, well, the funny thing was, my brother sent me a photograph, didn't he, of me when I was
you,
younger.
yes.
Never seen it before in my life.
Yeah.
So I thought, why is he sending me pictures of
Someone
a
random.
man posing, So,
Pausing. He wasn't.
but when I zoomed in, it was actually me. And somebody said to me, "What happened, Jamie? You had this physique body." I said, "I've still got it. I've just bubble wrapped it." But anyway, that was another story. That was a nightmare. But yeah,
Rugby ball?
Something like that, yeah.
Right, get back onto the let's get back onto the paranormal before all these insults start again. Right. So let's change the subject off from the dreams and everything else, because I mean it's brilliant that we're going on there. What we're going to do in a minute, though, before we go on to that subject, we're going to go across to an investigation we did, an interactive investigation. It was really good.
Different one.
Completely different, and we'll tell you why after you've listened to it. Otherwise, it will literally spoil it for you.
Yeah.
So again, put your headphones on and listen to this, because you're going to really enjoy it. You might be a bit nervous, but I'll tell you why after this. Okay, we're here in Mill Street Barracks, and I say we are because the person who's listening to this is in the room with me now. And to start the investigation off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the torch off. We are now in pitch black. Can't see a thing. But I've got the torch just in case anything does happen, because there's only two of us. So I'm going to give a call out now and see what happens. So I'm going to ask if there's anybody here with us now. Anyone who can hear us or see us. If you can show me that you're around by talking to us, making a sound or anything, please do so now. Sorry, that was me scratching. I'm going to ask you again. Do you know, I don't like this room. This is one of the rooms that really make me nervous. If you hear anything as well, let me know. Don't be afraid to say anything if you want to. I'm going to ask you again if there's anybody here with us now. Anyone who can see me. Did you just move something then? Hello? If that was you that made that sound, can you do it again, please? The room seems to have changed. I know it's dark, but it seems to be getting dark. I don't feel like I'm on my own. So what I'm going to do is, just going to ask again. If there's anybody here with me now, please come forward. Not here to do you any harm. Just want to talk to you. I'm going to stand up and see if you can see me. I don't know why I'm standing up for you to see me. It's just in case I want to do a run, to be honest with you. Can you copy me? I'm just going to make a sound on this table here. Can you do that? The person who's with me, can you let them know you're here? You might know me, my name's Jamie. I'm going to ask again if you can just go. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn my torch off. I don't know where to go for the best because you're alright there on your own a minute. I'll go over here. Right. Okay, my torch is now off. I'm now in pitch black again. I'm going to ask again if there's anybody here. Can you make a sound, please? Can you do something that I can hear you? Can you touch someone? Touch me? Hello? I thought you heard something then. Just see. Let's just go quiet for a second. Do you know you get that feeling when you're not on your own? You don't know. If you can see the cat balls I put on the floor, can you go towards that cat ball and make it flash for me? Can you do that? Can you show me you're here, please? I'm just going to go and sit down. Hold on a sec. Sorry, I'm just sitting down because then I'm alright then. Just turn the torch off. So that's me just putting the torch down. There's two people in this room. You're more than welcome to come to any one of us. Come and talk to us. Let us know you're here. Sure, I keep, like, you know, when you see shadows or movements and you're not sure. It's like corner of the eye thing. I'm going to ask again. Can you make a sound? Can you do something? Can What was that then? That's it, movement. It's, you know, in the pitch black like this, it's unnervy. Have you heard anything yet? If you can see the two of us in this room now, come to one of us, come and talk to us. Can you copy me? Sure, I just heard something in the other room. I'm just going to go and check. You alright there for a minute on your own? Let me just go and check. Hello? Don't like that door. Is there somebody there? Somebody there with us now? Sorry, that's just me. I'm going to ask if there's anybody here. If that's you making sounds and you are trying to make contact with me, that's fine. But please don't do any harm. We're not here to hurt you. We just want to know who you are. Hello? Hello? Sorry, I've just had to put my torch on. I want to know what that is. Hey! Hello? Oh man, there's only us two in the building. Sorry, I nearly dropped my torch then. I'm just going to sit here with you. Do you want to call out at all? Can you give a call out? Okay, I'm going to ask. Can you see the person who's with me, who's sitting here with me now? You're allowed to talk to them. You can come forward. We are as friends. Both me. Well, we're both here as friends. So come forward. Come and talk to us. Let us know you're here. I know you're around. I've got a feeling the room keeps getting darker. You're here. Please make yourself known. Oh, this is not good. Hello? I'm going to ask if there's anybody here now. Please don't do anything silly. Just be nice, because we're trying to be nice to you. I'm going to ask again. I'm going to ask if you're here with us now. Just come forward. Nothing to be afraid of. Nothing to... Hello? If that's you just then, can you make a sound for me, please? Come on, come and do something. Show us that you're here. Whoa, wait, was that you? I'm sure I can hear something like that. Hello? That sounded like it was behind. That was... Okay. Let me just turn the torch on again, because that's not good. As I've just put my torch on. You can't believe how dark it is in this room, and I've got the torch on now. Just going to see. What's that on the floor there? God, for that, we need a bit of carbs. I've got something dropped on the floor there. So it's a lot easier with the so I'm just going to check out here for a minute. Won't be a minute. And ask if somebody here with you now. You okay in there? Shh. Was that you? My heart's going boom. Right, sit. I'm going to sit in the axial, but I'm just going to sit. I'm just sitting on your, sitting by the side of you. I'm going to ask again if there's anybody here, and if that's you making noises or anything like that. I know there's only two of us here. Can you talk to me? You only get that feeling that something's going to happen and you're not sure what. There's not even a sound, is there? I'm going to ask if there's anyone. Is this your building? That's what I'll ask. If this is your building or you work here, please come forward. I know what this room was. And, you know, we appreciate that it's changed. Things have changed, you know, through the years. Maybe you worked here. Just had a cold breeze go past me then. Are you still here with me now? If you are, what was that movement then? I'm not sure I heard something move then. Hello? Did I knock something off the table then? Actually, that wasn't near me, was it? Let's put the torch on. Must be funny that torch. Oh, what's that? Sure that was on the table. On the table there. Just turn the torch off. Hope you're enjoying this. Turn the torch off. It's pitch black. This is really creepy, isn't it? Start to feel a bit on edge here. I'm going to ask if there's anybody here with us now. Anyone who can hear me or see me. Can you make a sound, please? Show me that you're here. You've got nothing to be afraid of. No one is going to harm you in any way at all. Come on, do something. Let me know you're around. Let us know you're around. You've got nothing to... Hello? I thought you heard something then, but it might have just been because I'm on edge. On edge. Tell you what, you sit there, you stay where you are. What I'm going to do is I'm going to sit behind you somewhere and just try and so just that was me turning the torch on. Nice chair. Nice chair. And ask again if there's anybody here. Can you say something to someone? Can you talk to us? Hello? Who was that? That was you. Can you do that again for us? Sean, you don't think I can hear something in you. Someone's moving in the room. I'm going to ask, can you copy me? I'm going to make a sound. If you're able to, can you make a sound? Make a sound. Let's hear something. Can you copy me? Hello? It's a really old building, so what I'm trying to think is the sounds of the building itself. Keep hearing things. But I think it's just my imagination, to be honest with you. You know, when you get in the room, there's only two in the room, and you're in the dark. Things seem to exaggerate them a little bit. Sorry, that's me making noise then. I'm going to ask again, if there's somebody here with me now, if that's you making a sound, are you moving around? You know, when you hear something, you can hear something. Hello? Hello? Oh, I'll turn the light on. Hello, that's me moving the chair. Hello? I'm just going to check. I'm sure there's somebody in this room. Oh no. Just go to this room. Hello? What? Sake! Hello? Right, I'm not liking this now. Too anxious. Right, I'll be back in a minute. You just wait there a sec while I just check this. Hello? Is somebody in here with me now? That's you. Can you make a sound? Come talk to me. It's a bit quiet, isn't it? What's that sound there? There's something behind us. I'm going to sit here with you for a bit because I'm making them wandering around and I don't like it. Come on, we're going to go in a minute. Okay, the cap ball's just come on and it's flickering. Is that you what just made that come on then? Oh, it stopped again. Let me just check that it works. That's me, it's only me, I'm just checking this cap ball. Oh, it's not gone off at all. Hello? What's that noise then? Let me just check this cap ball, see if it's good or not. Works alright. Back on the floor, see if it goes off. Seems to be a little bit calmer than before. Funny thing is, my eyes, I haven't turned my torch off. Funny thing is, when you're when there's just two of us here, it's weird. Okay, who's just whispered then? Is that you whispering? You behind me? Hello? We're going to go in a minute. going to go somewhere else to do another invest. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to thank you for coming forward, if that was you. We do appreciate. I thought that door just moved then. If you're here and you can hear me, we'd like to thank you for coming forward if that was you. We're not here to harm you. We are only being respectful to you. If you can you see the cat ball on the floor? If you want to say goodbye to us, I know it sounds silly, but you're more than welcome to say goodbye. Or if you want to come with us to another part of the building, that's absolutely fine as well. Are you here with us? So you are. You can just about see what I'm doing in this room. Yeah, it seems to be a lot calmer now than what it was. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end this little bit of a session of an investigation because seems to have gone quiet a little bit now. So anyway, I'd like to thank whoever's here or whoever was here with us for coming forward. Shh! Crying out loud. Okay, thank you. Thank you for that. If that was your way of saying goodbye, it's weird because what we're going to do now is we're going to leave it. But I appreciate you coming forward. My heart's going boom, 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 like that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to turn the light on. 1, because I want to. 2, my nerves are a bit edgy. And 3, I'm calling it an end for the investigation because that's it. I hope you enjoyed the investigation. I hope, what did you think of it? I hope you enjoyed it. Should we head off to the next investigation, the next part of the building, see what we get on there with? Okay, let me just go and turn the lights on as well then. See if I can, that's better. Doesn't seem as scary when the lights are on, does it? So what we'll do now is we'll head off. Let me just go and get the cat ball on the floor. And let's head off to another part of the building.
If you'd like to join our Facebook community, why not search for Access Paranormal Radio Podcast? There's always something very spooky going on the Access Paranormal Facebook page.
So if you've got any stories or you want to share anything with us, that's how you contact us. Now, the investigation we did just then wasn't a real investigation. It was an interactive one where we put the sounds in. What we've done is we wanted to give you that feeling of being in the room when things happen and how, what could happen if you're on an investigation. So it was just a little bit of an experiment to see how it went. So let us know what you thought of it. A couple of people asked us to put that back on because they'd missed it. So what we've done in this show is we put the 2 3D audios on. One was real, one was what we made. Hope you enjoyed it as well. Now, Jonathan, Lee, Marie,
Yes.
we're going to be talking. We've talked about a few things tonight, and there's one thing which I think it was you, Marie, what brought it up was symptoms before an investigation.
Yes, that's right.
Because people do get symptoms.
They feel ill. This happened.
What was that?
What was that noise?
I heard that.
Yeah, me too.
It was like,
Yeah.
that must have been picked up on the audio then.
Yeah, got
That's
it.
about.
There's a few noises.
Write the
tonight,
time
isn't
down.
there? Write the time, then we can check it as well.
Okay.
So coincidences, as we were
Twice I've heard
saying.
that now.
Yeah.
It's strange. We've not had this before.
I'll say coincidence.
Yeah.
Right.
Coincidences.
No.
Do
we
you
were
mean
going on to something else.
symptoms? Sorry.
Symptoms, yeah.
Whatever that sound was distracted us straight
It's
away,
actually
didn't it?
knocked us out.
So, we're talking about symptoms
Symptoms.
before investigations where
So,
people get visits. I think you've got a cold,
Sorry.
haven't you, Jonathan?
I remember
Fine.
there's somebody way back about 12 years ago, and we was with a paranormal group, and she used to ask us if you've got any symptoms or anything happens to you before we go on an investigation. And the amount of people out of the group, we'd be a coach full. So what would a coach full be? For about 40 people?
40
Oh,
people.
yeah.
Yeah.
Roughly.
Yeah.
So out of them, a
Jeanette.
Lorna.
Lorna. Right.
Yeah, so out of them, there'd be 5 or 6 that would come forward, that they'd end up, about 3 wouldn't turn up, and 5 or 6 of them saying that they've either had dreams before it, they got ill, they got severe headaches before an investigation. Now, you know, that's something I wonder about. Now, I did used to get a sickly feeling when I first started. Now, whether that was nerves, I don't know. But a lot of them were very experienced, you know, doing the paranormal.
Mm.
So it's something that is another thing that we'd be interested in to hear. Has anybody else had any symptoms or anything? Have you experienced anything, Lee, of anything like that?
I get a
before?
bad stomach.
A bad stomach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
On each investigation.
Yeah, most of them, yeah.
Is that nerves or is it tension
I
or
don't know,
excitement
because
or?
Even when we've done the radio show in Mill Street and beforehand, I've had to have something for my stomach.
Yeah.
Just don't know why. It's always been like that.
It's strange, isn't it, how it affects
Oh.
anybody.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anything before you come? Is that what you thought when on your way to an investigation? You know, you preparing yourself or?
It's like as if I've known I'm going to have a bad stomach,
Mm.
and then I've always gone and got something for it before. And well, as you know yourself, I've had to run out on an invest and get something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the only thing that affects me.
Well, I mean, in the past, quite a few people used to get stomach aches,
Yeah.
pains that they felt like that they couldn't go to the investigation,
Yeah.
and other people would get headaches or wake up with headaches.
Right.
So, you know, and this girl was doing her own, you know, view on it, and she said, if you get anything beforehand, let me know. You know, if anything's stopping you from coming on this investigation, because we know that there's been a lot that's happened in
Yeah.
the places that we're going. Actually, the one that we was going to was Galleries of Justice, which they've renamed it now or something, haven't they?
Yeah. Yeah. We went there, didn't we, with Axiom?
We did, yeah, that was good. But that's interesting. If anybody else out there, once again, contact us because we'd like to know your views on this. Then we can, you know, delve into it a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, go on.
Yeah.
What about you, Jonathan?
No, I'm generally alright.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll have a headache,
Hmm.
but that's it really.
Yeah.
Could that be like the weather though, or
I don't know, I'm not one for getting headaches, to be honest.
no?
Yeah.
It's not very often, but usually after an invest.
Yeah. It's tiring.
And I don't go to bed,
mentally
yeah, but
tiring, do you think?
I don't go to sleep till late anyway, though.
Yeah.
So that's like,
More of a night owl, so it suits you best,
yeah.
doesn't it?
So it's like a normal hour to go to sleep, really. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's only get be that.
I don't get.
So-
I've not had symptoms. I know when we get there, you think this is not going to be a good night, or
Yeah.
this doesn't feel right, and
Yeah.
things like that. I get them kind of symptoms,
Yeah.
but I mean that's a natural thing to do
Yeah,
anyway.
it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never had headaches before I go or warnings, because some people say they get visits from the spirits.
They do,
Yeah.
that's right.
Uh-huh.
Names, that was the other thing. People got names to take with them.
Mm.
Oh, right.
Before investigations, they got names and they brought it with them. So I want to remember that without you saying. Yeah, so it was any symptoms at all, or dreams, or words, things
Yeah.
to pass on to anybody. And like you say, names. and they were all
That'd be
used.
interesting, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
If people got names beforehand.
Yeah, beforehand on the trap. That was the other thing. Yeah.
The only sad thing about that, though, is because of the World Wide Web,
Yeah, now
the information's out there, and sometimes it worries me that they go looking for things on there and then
that's
bring
true,
them
but
names with them.
Anybody who's been genuine.
Yeah,
And they had the
yeah.
top
Yeah.
ones. We can understand people getting there and
Yeah.
you know, bringing people's names up.
Yeah.
But that was a good thing. What we never used to look up what was there. Did
No,
we?
no.
So
I still don't.
no, we don't. But over the time, you heard everybody else's stories. So.
Yeah.
But you know, that was something, and it'd be interesting if anybody out there gets any kind of symptoms or anything, featured or names or anything beforehand, warnings, anything like that.
Anything at all.
Yeah,
I mean, it is a weird one, isn't it? That
Yeah.
people get symptoms or voices or
Yeah.
names. Some of them say they visit in the dreams. They actually visit the location.
yeah, I've heard that.
Now, I've heard people say, I've never been to that location before, but yes, I visited it.
Yeah,
How did you know where it is?
It's strange, you know.
Yeah,
You know, it is. That's like another level, isn't it?
yeah.
That's like going on to like your astral plane and
It is.
Exactly.
that's
and
right.
all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
The same with the
So-
dream.
Exactly.
And if you look at as we're talking about this now, everything's linked.
yeah,
It is. Look, now we're talking about these things.
Everything is
Yeah.
You
linked.
can see about the dreams, about, you know, everything that we use, and coincidences were one that we're going to move on to as
Yeah.
well. You
Well,
know.
that was strange. I was just about to mention that.
I wish.
That was a coincidence, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So coincidences, or is it fate?
I think it's fate.
Mm.
Do you?
Yeah.
Is the coincidences?
I've had it where I know I'm coming, like, say, like, we've done the radio show, when we've been in Mill Street. I've dreamt about it the night before.
Get that excited, do you?
No, it's just like,
Yeah.
I'm there in Mill Street and I'm walking up the steps going up to
Right,
the
so you
studio.
visualise yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's what I've done that a few times.
Now,
Yeah.
do you think that's like you preparing yourself for that night?
Could have been, yeah,
You know, because when you're doing something, if you're going on holiday,
yeah.
weeks before, you're preparing yourself. You think,
Yeah.
I've got to do this, I've got to do that.
Yeah.
And you're getting really
Similar
excited
sort of
for it.
thing, yeah.
I've never seen you get excited, man, Julie. I think you just go, yes. When you- Liverpool have just won the European Cup for the seventh time. Get in.
Well,
Yeah.
so what coincidences have you had? It doesn't have to be with paranormal, just to give examples and get.
It's a hard one to think because I think
It
it's
is.
fate.
Well,
I
my
think there's a reason.
coincidences that I say is a coincidence are, start it off with, I'd say the ones at work. So myself and my manager could be talking about someone that we've never mentioned, I've not heard of for years, and all suddenly we look at the phone and the phone's rang with that person.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
weird when that
Yeah.
happens.
And I must admit, we have days at work where 3 or 4 of those happen on the same day
Mhm.
of the same thing, or they just walk in the door and you're looking at each other as if to say, oh my God,
Well,
and you've not, I literally heard from them, honest to God, for about
Yeah.
12 months or longer, and that person walks in at that particular time.
or when you're thinking about someone and they'll send you a message or a phone call and you go,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
oh my God. But again, is that all connected? Because if you think, are you sending
Well.
that message out to that person?
How can you if
Yeah.
it's directly on? I can understand with phone calls or, you know, something like that. But when they walk in, they've already been on the journey to get there.
Mm.
And for
Yeah, but are
somebody
you
that
picking up? Are you picking up that they're on the way?
yeah,
Because if you think of animals,
right.
right? This is my example of it is because animals know when their owners are on the way home, well before they get there. I've seen it on TV where they filmed a dog or well, let's go for a dog. They filmed a dog and the dog's up and starting to look around, and its tail starts to go and then it's going up and down, pacing up and down to the door or the window,
Mm.
and 5-10 minutes later the car pulls in.
That's weird.
Yeah, if you think a dog's senses.
Yeah.
Think of a human. Human have got so much to worry about, so much to think about.
Yeah.
Dogs, all they think about is food,
Yeah.
going for a walk, having the poops, going home, and waking up in the early hours of the morning wanting to go out again.
Yeah.
That's all they do,
Yeah,
isn't it?
I agree with that.
Besides being loyal.
And yeah, we could all learn from dogs and that. Now, if you think of them, right, they can tell when their owners are coming a long time before. You've seen it with paranormal stuff. Animals sense things beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Tsunamis, the big tsunami they had, all the animals were heading up the hills before the even tsunami came. So their senses are all in. And now, if you think about them, yeah, they've got the worries, of course they have, and things like that. But they haven't got the life we've got, if you get what I mean.
Do they hear things like dogs can hear, a whistle, or that's
the high pitch
the
whistle.
high
Yeah, the high pitch that we
Is
can't
it
hear.
Yeah.
something that they hear?
Yeah.
They
But
can hear.
If you look at humans, we've got so much interference in our lives. Our senses can't be like they used to be.
Yeah.
Where dogs and cats and any animal, they don't run a house. Oh yeah, okay, they build a nest.
Yeah.
They don't do stuff we do. They eat sensibly. They've got no sense of time. It's either day or night. The only things they have to worry about is predators.
Yeah.
If you think
I don't
about
know about the
their
time.
senses.
Yeah.
In what way? They know when to sleep and they know when to wake up.
Yeah.
They know
Because
when
of
to
the
hibernate
sun
now.
and the moon and things
But they
like
can't go
that.
like they can't.
Animals-
You can't get a watch on a bird's. They can't go. You know what? I think they know it by
Do you know what time?
They do. I think they know time. because
which
of-
animal? Dogs.
Yeah. Our dog will go up to the window ledge
Yeah.
and it'll go to a radiator under the window ledge in the living room, and it wants to get up sit on the window ledge.
Mm.
It's just a little fat pug, so he just about fits on the window ledge now. But he likes to get up about 3 o'clock
Mm.
because the kids come home between 1:15 and 1:30.
So, right,
And he'll
so
sit
they're
on that window
recognising
ledge.
time, yes.
Yeah.
So we can look out the
Yeah.
window for them.
Yeah.
Because he knows that
How
the
did he know?
duo.
That's
How did he know? Because
yeah.
they can't tell the time, can they?
Must be able to like sense.
It
It's
must
like-
be. It must
It
be
must be
something
inside
to do
them.
with time.
Well, it's like pigeons, isn't it? If you think of a pigeon,
The whole
Yeah, a pigeon. you can take it halfway around the world and it can fly right back to your front door
Mm.
Yeah.
and never been there before. So they must have some kind of intelligence.
Mm.
And this is where it's all going to build in the game. Human beings can do it, but we've got the intelligence to build the technology to do all that.
Yeah.
So it's lacking. We
Yeah.
don't have to use our
Yeah.
brain as much as things like that.
No, I don't think we
Oh,
do. I think
okay.
we're getting lazy with our brains,
Yeah.
because we.
Well,
Yeah,
true
'cause of
is
the
that. I know we're
technology,
going
isn't
off
it?
the
Yeah.
subject,
Yeah.
but I mean, when we was children, and we remembered every one of our friends' full phone numbers,
Yeah.
and now we don't need to. I'm trying
No.
to remember your own, Jamie. If I remember that, I can't. I just look in my book.
No.
It's laziness in the mind like that. But let's see. Going back to these coincidences, what else happens?
I think it's fate. I think it's fate.
Fate. What do you think? Ben?
Well,
What's your words on fate?
Well, let's talk about we talk about Mill Street Barracks a lot. Sadly, we're not there anymore. But first time I ever went to Mill Street Barracks, I said to my mum,
Yeah.
"Going to Mill Street Barracks, I used to go meet your dad there. I used to stay overnight with your dad there, and this, that, and the other." How weird was that? That they're
Mhm.
there. I go there. I've been there 10 years. I find a photograph of my dad on parade at the back of Mill Street Barracks.
Yeah.
So that's not. I don't think that's a coincidence. It's fate because he's already done it.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
You
think
was
when
meant to find that.
Yeah.
Maybe?
and the same with people. You people come in your life, they go out your life.
Yes.
You see them,
Some are there
they're
to
gone.
stay. Some are.
but
there.
some are there to stay
Mhm.
for life, and I think that's where your connections are, and that's fate. It's not a coincidence that me and you are sitting here and I'm
Mm.
doing all this. It's fate.
Yeah.
There's
That's
a
how I do
reason why we've
believe
done
that.
it.
Thinking
Yeah.
about that, then, when we both, when we came into the paranormal, me and you came in at the same time. We didn't even know each other,
No,
and now we're together.
that's
you know,
disaster.
that
Never
is-
mind.
That's what did he say?
I said that's wonderful, isn't it?
And I was just about to say, on which side was it?
No. Yeah, we can cut that out. Um, no, yeah, it's weird because sorry, it is weird how we end up bumping into each other in that, and that time before that, you were going through a tough time.
Yeah.
I was going through a tough time because I had
And
an heart
tough,
attack. I had a
yeah.
heart attack and everything else, and it was a really good friend of mine, Keith, who dragged me out the house and said, "You're coming on a ghost hunt with me."
Yeah. And it was mine where I actually just got a lot of things were going on in the house. I just opened the newspaper, and the page I opened it on was that of the ghost group, and they were meeting up. So I phoned the pub up where you used to meet, and it was on that night. And I walked in on my own on that night and just walked into it. And that was the same night that you happened, that we worked out that it was the same in the June, that we both ended up at the same time on our first meeting for paranormal.
How weird's that?
Strange, eh?
So you met in the dark,
Yeah.
and she fixed your broken heart.
Oh, listen to you, Mr. Cupid there, eh?
Nice one, mate,
But
nice
yeah,
one.
I do believe that it's fate.
Yeah.
It's not a there's no coincidences. Everything's for a reason.
Yeah,
Everything is done for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, if you think of computers, it was built for a reason. It's not. It was fate that one day this would be done to make our lives easier.
Yeah.
In fact, it's not made our
Too
lives
easy.
easier. It's made it harder.
It's made it laziness for us.
Yeah.
It is laziness.
Oh, it's lazy, but it's also give us a lot of knowledge. We can
Yeah.
look it
Yeah,
up.
that's one good thing about
You know,
it.
you can look it up in an instant. You don't have to go to a library,
Yeah.
I suppose.
Well,
and do that.
we switch our lights off by saying someone's name now.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, Alexa
I do.
switch the lights off.
I do.
You know,
Yeah.
how lazy.
I say, Millie, when you turn the lights off on the way in.
Oh, no, it's so cruel.
How lazy is that though? Because
It is, isn't
I
it?
have to. I have Alexa at one end of the living room.
Yeah,
The door's at the other end where the light switches are,
yeah.
and yet I still ask her to turn the lights off and then walk past the switches.
Yeah. And look at us with remote controls now.
I
We
was
used to have
just
get
about
up
to
the
say
TV,
remote controls.
and we used to have to press the buttons off, and now we just, you know,
I think
Get it
that
on
was
your
one of
phone now.
The best
Yeah.
one though, the best one though is when you used to have the remote control and you used to leave it on the top of your telly.
Yeah.
Yes, but you had to get up and
So you get up, go to the telly, get your remote control, sit down to
Then
turn the
turn
telly
it
over.
on.
Yeah. But
That's fate.
we were moving about. Now we're not. We're just sitting
No.
down and just
No,
doing it.
that's
It
right
is.
there.
It
But
is.
the,
right.
I mean, was this fate what we're doing now? We're doing the paranormal, we're doing the radio show. Was it fate, or did we all want to do this at one time? I've always wanted to do this from when I was young, and I've never had a chance to do it.
Yeah.
It's not a coincidence. I willed it, I wanted to do it, and I'm doing it.
Yeah, to me, it's just something I walked into because of experiences,
Yeah.
and I wanted to know more, and that's when I opened the
I've always
newspaper.
wanted to do it
And it
since I've been
happened
a
to be that
child.
night.
Yeah.
Yeah, since a child.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about
I've
you?
always wanted to do it.
Yeah.
But the paranormal.
Yeah.
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 And that paranormal brought us all together.
Yeah.
And the same as like, we're all close friends,
Yeah.
be friends for life.
Well, some of us are.
I'll be going I'll be changing from fate to fatal in a minute if you carry on. But if you think about that, I mean, there's people, like I said before, people can come
Yeah.
into your life and go out of your life, and then there's other ones who stay there for life.
Yeah.
And the likes of when I started work where I am now, and there's me, John Dagger, and Sophie. I mean, we've a very close bond relationship, very
Yeah.
close.
Yeah.
And Jonathan is in our group.
Mm.
You know, once we got talking, well, I love paranormal
Not
stuff.
Jonathan,
so
John.
John
Yeah.
John Dagger, so not Jonathan. Yeah, Jonathan's here next to me, isn't he? Don't know why.
With the dagger.
Yeah, hey,
With the dagger.
yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's amazing how everything is connected.
Yeah.
Because if you think of fate, when you think about things, there's your mind being used again. You dream about things, and when they're was it a dream or was it fate? It was going to happen. Not everything can be right. Not everything can happen.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd all be thinking about winning the lottery, and you know,
Yeah.
not everyone can do it. that's fate.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's not a coincidence that we're not going to win anything, because tomorrow we might go and win it. It's everything, I believe, is fate.
Mm.
There's no. I don't think there's such thing as coincidence.
No.
Was it a coincidence
It was fate.
that I worked around the corner from where you lived 7 years before I knew you?
No, it was fate, because you met Linda
Yeah.
and ended up coming to the
Alright.
house.
I used to work around the corner from your house.
Yeah, on Wilson Road.
That's
Yeah.
weird, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's crazy.
And if you talk to everybody, when I met you, your mum used to go to Mill Street Barracks. There's
Yeah,
a possibility
and
your
dad
mum,
used to dance. I'd
Yeah.
go to the ballroom dance in there.
but there's a possibility that your mum,
Spoke to
when we
your
talked
mum.
to her, that they could have known each other.
Yeah.
I think it was your mum that lived in the same road as one of my relatives.
And our
And-
grandmas. And they've got
grandmothers,
same,
yeah.
Same names, surnames. At one time, we got a bit panicky because Williams was on my side and Williams was on his, and he lived across the street in St Helens on the opposite streets, and we're trying to work out.
Your
Oh
cousin?
my God!
Yeah.
Yeah, can you imagine?
But no, it's funny because once we got talking, we going, oh my God,
Yeah.
this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
Yeah.
So it was fate that you'd meet.
Yeah.
It was fatal that I met you. I've not got a word for you, Jonathan. But it shows how life is all connected.
Yeah.
Mm.
Everything's connected.
Yeah.
Anyway, on that note, as fate says, we've now just come to the end of the show. So again, we'll get onto other subjects next week. And so, Jonathan, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Lee, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Anne-Marie,
Thank you.
give me a chance.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
You're welcome.
And everybody, please tune in next week, and we'll see you then. Good night.